Hello everyone. I hope you all are fine. Welcome to today's webinar, and we are streaming this webinar live on YouTube also. So I want to thank all the YouTube viewers who joined on the YouTube. My name is Pawan Rana and I am going to start this important webinar, SQL connectivity and integration with Busy. As you know, every week we conduct webinar on a new topic so we can enhance your Busy knowledge. If you attend these webinar every week regularly, then you can use Busy very smoothly. You will know all the features of Busy accounting software. Now we are starting this topic SQL connectivity and integration with Busy. So please listen carefully, and if you have any doubts and queries, you can ask us at the end of the session. For YouTube viewers, you can send your queries in chat box. Our team member Miss Aditi will reply on YouTube. So now we are starting this webinar. First of all, let us understand what are the benefits of SQL database. So as you know, in Busy accounting software, we have two type of databases, MS Access and MS SQL. With Access database, you can use Busy on single premises with the same network on multiple system. Suppose your location is same, your network is same, and you want to use Busy on multiple systems. Then you can implement MS Access database. And low size of data you can easily manage in Access database. But in SQL, what are the benefits are? Like first is remote working through internet, multi-location. If your location is multiple, network is uh, network is different on all the systems. Like your one location in Delhi, your one location in Mumbai, you have two systems, one system in Delhi, one system in Mumbai. You want to use same company, you want to work on same company from different location. You have multiple locations. So in this scenario, you can implement MS SQL database. In SQL database, you can use Busy on multiple locations. So remote access facility is available through internet. You can connect your all the locations. Next is huge data size can be managed. Suppose your number of transaction in a day is higher, and then your data size will be increased. So in SQL database, you can easily manage your huge data size. Like your data is like more than 2 GB, 3 GB, 10 GB. You can easily manage your data if your data size is huge. We recommend you have to implement SQL database. Then you can run smoothly. Next point is better data processing speed. So in SQL database, speed is better compared to Access database. Speed you will get this speed is uh, fast in SQL database. Next point is data remains more secure because uh, in SQL database, you system user cannot remove your data from the folder because in SQL database your security is high. And if you want to remove a company, if you want to delete a company in SQL database, then you have to delete the company from the SQL app. You cannot directly delete. So the data will be more secure as compared to Access database. Next, no limit on number of concurrent user. So in SQL database, there is no limit. If you want to use Busy on multiple system, like 50 systems, 100 systems, you can use easily, no limits, and count license available. So in case of SQL database, you have to buy the license. If the license costing of Busy software is depend on number of systems. Like if you want to use Busy on 2 system, 3 system, 4 system, 5 system, 10 system, so the cost of the license will be depend on count of the system. So count license is available in case of SQL database, and there is no limit. You can use multiple user, like multiple. You can use Busy on multiple systems, and there is no limit. So this facility is also available with SQL database. Next, compatible with which models? So in SQL database, we have two models: standard and enterprise for perpetual, and Saffron and Emerald for subscription license, subscription edition. Glue and Basic is not available. If you want to use SQL database, then you have to buy Standard Enterprise Edition or Chevron and Emerald Edition. So this database is compatible, SQL database is compatible with Standard Chevron, Enterprise Emerald, not available with Basic and Glue. After that, we see prerequisites for busy client server. Like if you want to use busy on multiple systems, there is two scenario. First scenario is your all system location is single, means you want to use busy on single location of multiple systems through networking through LAN. And the second scenario is your all systems are not in a single location, and your location is different. One location in Delhi, one location in Mumbai, another location in Chennai. So you have multiple locations. Network will be different. So in this scenario, you have to connect the client system through remote access. In case of multiple systems, one system you have to configure as a server, and all the system you have to configure as a client system. All the configuration you have to do on server system, like SQL installation and other things. And the client system, no need to install SQL on client system. Only you have to specify the information of server at client system, and your data will access. Like if your location is single, you want to use busy on single location, single premises, network is same, and you want to use busy on LAN, database SQL. So what are the configuration required? Like first is MS Server 2023. This is for server system. So for server system, this required the requirement like MS Server 2003 operating system or higher. You can install. You have to install Microsoft Server 2003 operating system or higher, like 2019 the latest. Next, MS SQL Server. You have to install MS SQL setup 2005 or higher, like 2008, 2016, 12, 14. You can install any, but higher 2005, 2005 onwards. Good internet is required in case of remote access. Okay. In case of LAN, no internet required. But if you want to use busy on multiple location, then good internet is required. Then you can use busy smoothly at multiple location. And in case of remote access, means multiple location, static IP is also required, because you have to connect the location through static IP. So for remote access, static IP you have to purchase on server, and you have to configure on server. Then you can connect the multi locations. For client system, you can install any operating system, and good internet is required. So these are the requirement for server and client system. Next, what steps you have to follow for a configuration for implementation of a busy client server license, SQL database license. Like so for LAN, for remote access, let me tell you for LAN first. Like first, you have to install the SQL setup on the server system. Server system is main system. All the configuration you have to do on server system, and client system will access the server system data through LAN in the same network, and through static IP on multiple networks. Like step one is you have to install the MS SQL setup, management studio and configuration. These two setups you have to install on server system. And in case of LAN, step two is you have to configure busy on LAN, and then you can connect all the system. In case of remote access, you have to configure the static IP on server, some port configuration you have to configure on server, then you can connect the client system. So these two steps you have to follow for implementation of SQL. Let us see the installation process of MS SQL, how to install MS SQL on server. First, you have to download the setup. So you can download the setup from internet, and after downloading, this is the setup. Just you have to double click on it, and setup will run. In the next screen, the first option, new installation or add features on existing installation. These option you have to just click on this option and start the process of installation. The next screen, accept the agreement and click on next. SQL server name. Next button will highlight and you have to click on it. After that, when you appear on this screen, and just tick the all the options and click on next button. When you install SQL on first time in the system, in the server system, if you're installing SQL at first time on the server system, then you can use server system name as SQL. But if you are installing second time, third time, fourth time, then you can specify your name of SQL. So if you are installing first time, then you can select default instance and your system name will be treated as SQL Server. Just click on next option. After that, select the local system account and click on next. And now this is the main screen. When you appear on this screen, first you have to select mix mode option. Mix mode option is required. So when this screen will appear at the time of installation, you have to select mix mode. After that, you have to specify, you have to create the password. This is important. Select the mix mode and next option, you have to specify the password. You have to create the password, re-enter the password and add the users. So you have to add the admin user at the time of installation and just click on next. After that, click on next and your SQL is installed. So these process you have to follow, these steps you have to follow. And if you following this step, then your SQL will install very smoothly and correctly. No issue will come after the installation. So this is the process for installation of the SQL setup on server system. This SQL setup you have to configure, you have to install on server system only. No need to install on clients. So remember this thing, we have to install SQL on server system only. After that, let's see the configuration busy. So my SQL is installed now. Let us see. Let me show you. So this is my SQL. You can see this is the SQL Management Studio and SQL Configuration Manager. These two applications install when you install the SQL setup. Let me show you. You can search like SQL. These two applications will install. Just open it. This is SQL Management Studio. After that, you have to log in the SQL. See, this is the login screen. Here you have to specify the SQL server name, like your system name, because we installed first time. So you have to specify the system, so the server name as SQL. SA is by default. SA means system administrator and the password. So let me enter the password and click on remember password and just click on connect. Now my SQL is ready to use. So after the installing, you have to open the SQL application Management Studio and log in this. Log in your account. After that, the process of SQL is completed. Now go to Busy, open Busy and just click on select Busy models. Here you have to select the SQL database type is Access. By default, it's Access, but if you want to use Busy with SQL database, then you have to select MS SQL option in this screen. Save and restart Busy. Let me restart Busy. So after selecting the model, after selecting the database SQL, you have to restart Busy and Busy will start in SQL edition. See, in the top, it's showing EC. EC means Enterprise Client Server. If my model is standard, then you can see SC. SC means Standard Client Server. So we have two editions in SQL database, Standard Client Server and Enterprise Client. So the basic option is not available. So now my model is EC. You can see the model is Enterprise SQL database. So my model name is EC, Enterprise Client Server. After that, just you have to click on set server information. So in case of access, you have to specify the data path. But if you select SQL database in Busy, then you have to specify the SQL information there. The SQL information, let me show you. So when you log in the SQL, this is my server name. Just you have to copy the server name and paste in the server name. You cannot specify the user ID because the user ID is by default SAS, means system administrator. And in the next option, password, you have to specify the password of SQL. When you install, you create the password, uh, created the password, you have to specify here and save. These configuration you have to do on server in case of single location, in case of LAN. Now let me show you, these are my company. So let me show you in SQL also, database. These are my data files. It's expanding. See, we have three companies: Comp 001, Comp 002, Comp 003. We have three companies in SQL database. And let me show you, it's showing three companies in Busy. See, and data at server, the server information, the server name is showing on top in Busy. So your configuration is completed in case of LAN. And for client system, you have to connect the client system in same network, and same information you have to specify on client system. Like this is the information, server name and password. This same information you have to specify on client system also. And if your client system is on same network, then these company will show you on client system also. These three companies, like how much companies you have, three companies, four companies, all the companies you can access from client system if your client system is in same network. So same information you have to specify here. After that, for licensing, you have to open Busy Agent. Let me show you. This is Busy Agent. Just click on General Configuration, select SQL option, and specify the SQL information like server name and password. These information you have to specify in General Configuration. Save the settings. After that, just click on Dongle Server. Click on Dongle Server and check the security. See, if you purchased count system license, then all the details will show you the Busy Agent. This license is belongs to MS Access. But if this license is belongs to SQL, then information will show you in Busy Agent, and you have to save this and minimize this Busy Agent. So license will also your client system will also open in license mode. So these configuration you have to do in case of local area networking, in case of single location, multiple system. Back to presentation. See, this is the window for set server information. You have to specify the SQL server name and SQL password, and just you can continue your work. So these configuration you have to do at the time of single location and uh, and for LAN. SQL server name and password you have to specify on all the systems. If systems are in same network, then all the systems, same company will access. After that, let me explain you how to configure Busy at multiple locations. Suppose we are one location in Mumbai, one location in Delhi, your server location in Mumbai, your branch location in Delhi, one branch in Delhi, one branch in Mumbai, one branch in Calcutta, one branch in Chennai. It doesn't matter. You have multiple locations, and you want to use Busy on multiple location. It's same company. So you have to configure one system as server means head office system as server, and all the system you have to configure as client system. Another all system you have to configure as client system. So one system you have to configure as server system, like my head office in Mumbai, and my head office location, my server location in Mumbai. So all the configuration we have to configure on Mumbai location, because Mumbai is my server location. Now, what step you have to follow? For remote access, remote access is a feature for of a busy client server edition by which you can access data via internet through anywhere. Means doesn't matter your location is different, your network is different, you can use busy, you can use same company, so same server company at client system. But you have to configure static IP, and then you can connect, you can access the server stuff. Static IP address is provided by the internet service provider. So if you want to buy the static IP because you want to connect all the systems, so you have to purchase static IP. Static IP you can purchase from internet service provider. He will provide you, and the static IP you have to configure on server system. Then you can access busy from multiple locations, from anywhere. Let me show you another part also. Like first, you have to install SQL setup on server system. I am telling for remote access. If you want to use Busy on multiple locations, so some configuration you have to configure on server system. Step one is first configuration is you have to install SQL setup on server system. After installing, you have to open LAN card. Let me show you. So open control panel, and network and sharing. You have to click on network and sharing center. This is my internet, and double click on this option, and this is my LAN card. So we have to configure local IP first. This configuration we have to do on server. So go to network and sharing center, double click on network, and click on detail. This is my local IP of the system. Suppose this is my server system and this is my local IP of server system. I have to note down this, like my local IP is 192.168.92 and 221, and the DNS is 192.168.92.219. So you have to note down this detail: static IP, sorry, local IP and DNS server. Close this, and after that you have to click on property. Click on Internet Protocol version 4 TCP IP4. This option you have to move your server on this option. Click on it, and this is my TCP LAN card. Here you have to specify the local IP of server system. Like my server system local IP is 192.168.92 and 221. So this detail I have to specify in LAN card, DNS server information, these two information, and default gateway also. These fields you have to specify. After that, you have to click on OK option, and your LAN card is configured. This is my second configuration. First configuration is we have to install SQL setup in server system. Second is configure your LAN card. So local IP you have to configure. After that, in the third configuration, you have to click on Windows Firewall, turn on the Windows Firewall, and create inbound and outbound rules. For inbound and outbound rules, you have to click on Advanced Settings, click on Inbound Rules, click on New Rule, select Port option, next, and The by default SQL port is 1433. Remember this thing. The by default SQL port is 1433. So you have to configure, you have to create the port in inbound rule 1433. Next, select allow the connection. Next, and here you have to specify the port name, the rule name, like SQL 1433. Finish it. So my inbound rule is created now. After that, you have to create the outbound rule also. So you have to create two ports, like inbound port or outbound port. So outbound rules, click on new rule, select port option, just click on next. Here you have to specify the same port 1433. Remember this thing, the by default SQL port is 1433. So you have to specify the 1433 port. For next, select allow the connection, next, and specify the name like SQL 1433. This name you can specify as per your choice. Finish. So my port is configured. So this is my third configuration. First is SQL installing. Second is LAN card configuration. Third is window firewall configuration. After that, you have to open SQL configuration manager. Like this is my SQL configuration manager. You have to open this. See, and click on SQL server network configuration. Click on this option. Protocols for MS SQL server. Click on this option and enable the TCP IP. This is the third option. Left click and enable this. After enabling, double click on this and this window appears. Click on IP addresses and here you have to specify the local IP of server system in IP4. Remember this thing. You have to go to IP4, enable, and here you have to specify the local IP of server. Like my local IP is 192.168.92.221. This is my local IP. So this IP I have to specify in SQL configuration manager in TCP IP. After that, port is showing 1433 and it's showing 1433. Apply. Okay. So you have to save the setting. After that, you have to start the services of SQL. Restart. My service is restarting. So this configuration you have to configure on SQL configuration manager. You have to configure the TCP IP like this. So my service is restarting now. So all configurations are done. And now I have to open busy on server system, set server information. Here you have to specify the local IP like 192.168.92 and 221, comma 1433. So my local IP and my port, local IP 14 and after local IP specifying type comma and specify the port 1433, password of SQL you have to specify and the save the set. This configuration you have to configure on server. After that, for multiple location connection, you have to open the internet router on system and you have to forwarding the port 1433 on internet router on server system. If you know the setting, you can configure self. But if you don't know how to configure how to forward the port on router, then you can contact to your internet service provider. The technical person will open the port 1433 on your router and your static IP will ready to use. So these configuration you have to configure on server system. After that, you have to open busy on client system and specify the static IP in server name. So on server system, you have to specify local IP of server. But in case of multi-location, if you want to access the server system data on client system location is different. Server systems location is different, network is different, and all the configuration you have to configure on server. After that, you have to open busy. You have to specify the server local IP in server name at server system, and you have to specify the static IP with comma 1433 port on client system. Save and specify the password, static IP and password of SQL. You have to specify these details on client system in case of multiple location. Save this configuration. After that, just open company. You can access the server system data at client system. So these configuration you have to do if you want to connect busy on multiple system as with the SQL database. So these configuration you have to do on server system, like configuration one is the SQL, install the SQL setup. Second is you have to configure the LAN card with the local IP. After that, you have to open Windows Firewall, and turn on and create the inbound and outbound rule. Port name is 1433. After that, you have to open SQL Configuration Manager and click on TCP IP. Can create so specify the local IP in TCP IP4 and save the setting and restart the services. And after that, the last configuration is you have to open the internet router on server system and forwarding the port 1433. Open the port 1433 on internet router on server system. After that, you can connect the busy on multiple locations. On server system, you have to specify local IP. On client system, you have to specify static IP with port 1433. Next, things to remember: always select mixed mode while installing MS SQL database. When you're installing SQL on server system, then this thing you have to remember. You have to select mixed mode, because if you not select mixed mode, then you cannot create the password of SQL. So you have to select mixed mode, then you can create the password of SQL for login. Second thing is, for remote access, static IP is must be configured in LAN card of server or port 1433 forwarding on server system. So this configuration you have to configure on server system. Next is, busy only work with SA user. SA means system administrator user. So this is by default. Configure firewall on server and add SQL and port 1433 in the list of execution. So you have to open Windows Firewall, create inbound and outbound tool. Port is 1433, and 1433 port is by default port of SQL. But you can use any other also, like 1422, 1411. But the by default SQL port is 1433. But this port is used in another application, then you can use another port also. So I hope this topic is clear and you understood what steps you have to follow to configuring SQL installation and other things also. If you need any help, if you want to, if you facing any issue and problem to implementation the SQL database, then you can contact us. Contact detail you can see on screen. 5 times 82 you can dial, and the email ID is support@busy.in. So if you need any help, you can contact us. Our support is number one because we provide support 24/7. So this is the topic of today's webinar. I hope all things are clear, and uh, we will meet in the next webinar. Thank you very much. And goodbye to all.